Hello guys, my name is Jana. I'm from Ukraine and welcome to my live stream. Today we will meet with you for 1 hour and I will tell you about 7 or maybe more interesting wedding traditions of Ukraine. And before, for those of you who don't know me, let me show you a short video so you will know a little more about me. Guys, we'll speak about interesting wedding traditions today. So I want to bring this topic today for you from other perspective, with the eyes of foreigner. So I will read how foreign lady describe all this process, but they are very accurate. In fact, like many modern Ukrainian weddings, they still follow all these traditions, absolutely all of them. We'll say hi to all you all. Vatvat, привіт, Jana, привіт, Vatvat, hello. Yannick, good evening, Jana. Hello to you, Yannick, good evening to Denmark. Tommy boy, good morning to you guys. Glad to see you all. So, the author of this article is Lady, and her brother was a groom. So she mentioned last September en route from Australia to Costa Rica, we made a much anticipated stop in Ukraine to finally introduce Max, is the name of the groom, to my extended family and to attend my cousin's wedding. Despite the fact that I grew up in Ukraine, my family moved to Canada when I was 15 years old. I had never attended a traditional Ukrainian wedding before and had no idea what to expect. I guessed that there would be an intimate church ceremony followed by a backyard reception in the bride's village. To our big surprise, the wedding was far different from that. There was a civil wedding ceremony, a wild Ukrainian wedding dress and a suit, a banquet, chandeliers, overflowing amounts of food, and some dancing. From the outside, the wedding looked similar to what you would typically expect to see in North America. But weaved through the traditional Ukrainian wedding were a ton of quirky details. Ukrainian wedding traditions, games, and surprises that made it one of the most unique and memorable weddings I ever attended. So first, paying the ransom. The morning of the wedding, where we got our first date of Ukrainian wedding customs. The groom, my cousin, had to go to the bride's parents' house to pay the ransom to get the bride. His best man, along with the immediate family, which also included my family, Max and I, were allowed to come along for moral support. But arrived at the house with 2 loaves of bread to gift to the bride's family. But instead of being taken inside right away, He was greeted by the bridesmaids, whose responsibility was to protect the bride from getting stolen without the adequate ransom. The girls worked hard to up the price of the ransom by stamping of cousins on questions about his bride. Every wrong answer required him to pay more, forcing him to shower her with compliments and do whatever else was necessary to get him to drop more cash. After about 15 minutes of laughter and solid entertainment for all, my cousin was allowed inside to get his girl. So it first of all creates for fun. So depend on the level of family, financial stability of the groom. So it can be small amount of sum, but a lot of drop, small money, or it can be even like some big sums. And guys, to be honest, I don't remember. Well, I also had this tradition at my wedding, but I don't remember this money. They then like these girlfriends keep it to themselves, or they give to a family of bride, or return back to a groom. I don't know. Maybe it depends on how they decide this between themselves. But the main thing in this game is like bride is the most important value, and the groom should prove now with money nowadays, like financial security, that he is a worth person of this bride. So he need like to pay as much as possible. So it means the price of the bride that good that she worth of this price. In some iteration of this Ukrainian wedding tradition, the parents of the bride actually bring out another woman or man dressed as the bride and covered with the veil. So the groom can't see her face to trick the groom. It is said that once the groom realizes that it is not his bride, he is asked to pay for the bride who is much more valuable. So he pays and receives not the original bride. It is also said that if the bride's parents meet the groom at the door with a pumpkin, it means that his offer of marriage was not accepted by either the bride or by her family. The pumpkin is something for him to carry so that he doesn't leave empty handed. And by the way, this is very old tradition from um, old Ukrainian villages. Some traditions, they really have roots from very ancient times and very difficult even to explain the logic of these rituals, but they still alive, guys. Lucky for us, no pumpkins were exchanged during my cousin's wedding. Second, благословение, blessings. Благословение is a ritual that typically takes place shortly before the ceremony and involves the parents and grandmothers giving their blessings to the couple. In my cousin's case, the ritual took place right after the ransom was settled inside the bride's parents' house. The couple and both sets of parents exchanged bowls, and the parents gave the bride and groom their best Ukrainian wedding wishes and blessings for a happy and prosperous marriage. Usually, guys, it's very sincere ceremony with the icons and usually blessings, such sincere and touch the heart. Usually, all crying this moment. 3. Stepping on the rushnik. Rushnik is embroidered cloth. Almost every Ukrainian wedding ceremony will see the couple step on a traditional embroidered cloth, referred to as a rushnik, before they take their vows. Traditionally, the person that steps on the Ukrainian wedding rushnik first will wear the pants in the family. So to say, and have the final say through though the marriage. It seems that the groom almost always lets the bride step on the Ukrainian wedding rushnik first, a gesture that is both respectful and endearing during the marriage ceremony. Usually, guys, in reality, couples try to do this at the same time, like due to respect to each other, not to conquer, not to compete. Ukrainian wedding ring finger. During the marriage ceremony, Max was surprised to see my cousin slipping the wedding ring onto the right hand of this bride. That's because, unlike in North America, where wedding rings are traditionally worn on the left ring finger, a Ukrainian wedding ring finger is on the right hand. The bride will wear her ring on the same finger throughout her life unless her husband dies before her. In that case, she will switch hands, demonstrating that she is a widow. Fifth, Karavai Ukrainian wedding bread. Karavai is known as an Ukrainian wedding cake. It's large, round, braided bread baked from wheat flour, often decorated with various symbols and that's given to the bride and groom as a marriage blessing. It's a delicious, slightly sweet subtitle for bread. Substitute. While the couple may try pieces of it during the wedding, it is much more likely for the Ukrainian wedding cake to be consumed in weeks after the wedding. My cousin and his wife received at least 3-4 karavai Ukrainian wedding bread on their big day. Too many, uh, too many to consume on their own. So, luckily, Max, myself, and the rest of our family were there to give them a hand. Guys, usually it's not sweet. It doesn't usually traditional original karavai Ukrainian. It doesn't has specific flavor, so it's usually without not sweet, not salt. So it's different to a bread even. The typical Ukrainian wedding bread recipe includes evaporated milk, sugar, wheat flour, butter, eggs, and vanilla. However, some have rum extract, which is I never met, zest of lemon, and other ingredients which are often passed through the generations by way of a family Ukrainian wedding bread recipe. Bread has a lot of symbol. By the way, one more important thing. Before, when nowadays, usually people order these caravais at specific like bakeries, but before this caravai should bake a woman who is happily married. So that was tradition. So you can eat this caravai cake only from somebody's happy, lucky hands. Bread has a lot of symbolism in Ukrainian weddings. Traditionally, a bride would move into a groom's house immediately after the wedding ceremony without a reception like my cousin had, and so they were greeted there with the bread and salt. Of the Ukrainian wedding traditions, bread and salt carry the most meaning. Bread is symbolic of Ukrainian wedding blessing for wealth and good luck, while salt was considered a protector of evil spirits. They were meant to be eaten together. Sometimes, at modern-day traditional Ukrainian weddings, the couple will still eat the karavai with salt. However, my cousin and his bride followed this unpleasant taste in wedding tradition. 6. Kidnapping the bride. One of the Ukrainian wedding reception traditions is the kidnapping of the bride. Numerous times throughout the night, the bride would disappear from the banquet hall and be held captive by her bridesmaids until the groom carried out some dares. I think the idea behind the kidnapping was to make the groom do something he isn't found of. But in the case of my cousin's wedding, all the dares involved vodka. The first time the bride went missing, he had to drink a shot of vodka from her shoe, Cinderella style. But as the night progressed, the symbolism gave the way to particularly Letty. The bride would run off with the girls, leaving my cousin and his friends to tend to vodka. Of course, Max joined in. 7. Hirko, in Ukrainian hirko. Hirko means like bitter, bitter taste. Ukrainian wedding toast. Ukrainian weddings are renowned for toast. At times, it felt like someone was saying a toast every time we reached over for another sip. Parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts, second cousins twice removed. It felt like everyone had something to say. And every toast ended in a famous Ukrainian phrase, "Girko," meaning bitter, which indicated that the bride and groom had to kiss. As the Ukrainian wedding tradition goes, if something is bitter, kissing will sweeten it. The guests loved yelling out "Girko" whenever they could, and the couple looked so tired of kissing we almost felt sorry for them. Next, wedding games and activities. There were a ton of games and activities going on throughout the night. It felt a bit too much for us, where was at the dancing. But it made sense when we later learned that Ukrainian weddings are all about entertainment. Guests expect to be entertainment throughout the night, and it's up to the bride and groom along with their MC, which they call tamada in Ukraine, to keep the spirits high throughout the night. Yeah, so it's some kind of animator, specifical like tamada. Yeah, we call it tamada. So usually it can be a man, it can be a woman, someone who will lead during from the beginning of the evening till the end with specific entertainment programs, some games, and all the guests they should be involved, and everyone would have fun on this wedding in this manner, like not just sitting and eating and these toasts again and again. The guessing baby gender game was one of the easiest game to understand. The best man and maid of honor each walked around the room asking for the crowd to vote on the gender of the couple's first baby. Those voting for a girl had to drop money into the best man's bucket. Those hoping for a boy would put money into the maid of honor's bucket. The votes were in and according to the friends and family's opinions, they will be having a boy. 9. Single ladies dance. During the festivities, all the single ladies, unmarried, which included me at the time, were invited to the floor for a Ukrainian wedding dance. We lined up for our turn to dance with the bride, and after we awkward 15-second dance. The bride would spin each one of us and sit us down on a chair. The premise was to jump up from the chair as quickly as possible. The longer you sit, the more likely you are to end up sitting alone for the rest of your life. And grab a piece of paper out of hat. The paper would give you your love life prophecy. Mine said that I was going to marry a Hollywood actor. Instead, I married a traveler. So it's not real prediction, it's just to entertain people. 10. Favorite part of the body dance off. This Ukrainian wedding dance was by far the most embarrassing activity I took part in throughout the entire evening. A few of the girls were hand-selected by the bride. You have to play this one. My cousin's wife said as she pulled me towards the dance floor. Uh, it's such a fun one to form a line in front of the best man. One by one, we had to do a little catwalk dance for the best man. This is to help him identify each girl's most attractive part of the body. Likely the best man knew there was a catch to his selection. He picked the most obscure parts like elbow, knee, and toe. Then the catwalk dances were over. He was instructed to kiss his favorite part of each girl's body. I got a kiss on the eyebrow and shuffled back on my seat, mortified. Never again, guys. Usually, all the games they has this character like guests, which a lot of from the guests, not only relatives from both sides. Uh, a lot of people like grooms. Bodies and brides girlfriends, and a lot of people they are single there on the wedding. So many of these entertainments games they like trying to they have such a context when people can have some like game between a man and a woman or even some attract a level of attraction. So not that rare that on weddings, on Ukrainian weddings, some new couple created after this wedding. The games continued on all night, and Max got a chance to participate in some as well. With my brother by his side as his official translator, B bonded with the rest of the guys at the wedding over vodka, ridiculous dances, Ukrainian wedding songs, horrible singing, and wedding traditions. So, do Ukrainians have an arranged marriage? No, Ukrainian dating looks pretty similar to dating in North America. However, gender roles are somewhat more defined. When it comes to who will pay for a wedding ceremony, it is written in any marriage traditions that either party will pay for the ceremony. Sometimes it's the couple themselves, and sometimes they get help from their families. What is traditional Ukrainian wedding dress like? Before Soviet rule, the traditions were that brides would wear embroidered dresses and Ukrainian wedding crowns to their marriage ceremonies. The traditional Ukrainian wedding dress would be colorful, um, vibrant with lots of patterns, embroidery, and ornaments. It would be complemented by a Ukrainian wedding crown, which would be hand woven like the wreath. Um, whereas the men would wear similarly embroidered shirts with plain trousers to be married. Today, wedding dress traditions are similar to that of North America. Like many cousin and his bride, most couples wear the standard white wedding gown and black suit to be married. However, there will sometimes be touches of embroidery of the dress or veil. Some brides will wear a Ukrainian wedding crown made of flowers. Guys, if you're interested, I will also share with you some other symbols of Ukrainian weddings, or, for example, what kind of gifts. But let me return to the chat and see your comments and impressions about that. Tommy, I was just watching video about age gap. You already know my opinion about this. Yes, Tommy, I know that no any age for you. Yannick, yeah, but what had to be on all streaming platforms at the same time. I'm also, okay. Devil's Advocate, hello to you. I'm glad to see you here. Hi, Jana, hope you are well. Thank you so much. Hope you also well, all you guys. Hello, Marcos. Hello, good morning to you. You have this morning nice. But what? Give a bag of money, return home with a pumpkin. One expensive pumpkin. I don't know in reality how it was like. For example, I'm definitely sure that in 18th century these rules they really were even maybe in 19th century. So parents really could decide is the bride will like give their permission for this marriage. And if they don't like a groom, if they are different status or something, so I think it could be Simon. Hello. Does she know in Western traditional culture the wife family pays for the wedding? It is not true. Usually, two families pay 50-50. If the groom already financially stable, he can take biggest part of wedding. But it depends, guys, because in Ukraine sometimes you can see such very young couples when they can be 21, 22 years old, 25, when they have regular work but not enough realized in their life to have this money for wedding. So everything depends on family. I understand that this is a joke, but I want to share with you how it works in reality. What is Simon? Traditionally speaking, in my country, they paid for the bride's dress as accessories, hair, makeup, and outfits for the children and bridesmaids. Um, in Ukraine, usually, I think groom buy wedding dress and shoes to a bride. Hair, makeup is her like business. Depend, guys. Very depend. How long people together, how successful her groom is, and all these things very depend on their like pre-marriage experience and opportunities. Also, costs for the party, flower, decorations, photographer, music, and rental of the vehicle. Yeah. It's very like all this stuff is very expensive, of course, and weddings usually like quite expensive event. But in return, like usually the most popular presents in the wedding is small cards with the money. So all the guests usually they give they come to the wedding with the money, and usually it's especially if it's relatives, so it's some big enough amount of money. So because of this specific event, very important, very big celebrated. Alan, hello to you. I'm glad to see you. Good morning. Good morning, my dear Jana Flower. Thank you. Made it to your live stream. I had to fight off the cats to get to your face. Pearl crying, cat, cat orange whistling. Alan, what happened in there into your place? What? So they have to be able to hold your liquor when having a traditional wedding with a Ukrainian lady. Simon, wow, Ukrainian Cinderella story involved vodka from the shoe. Yeah, guys, I heard about this tradition, but I never saw on weddings. I can say that I was in a lot of weddings, but I never saw that someone drink from the shoe. Yannick, vodka is fine by me as long as it is not beer. Tommy, I would love to attend such a fun wedding. Yes, Tommy, it is really, really, really funny, and for everyone, for guests, for all the same for bride and groom. So from the I can say early morning, especially for a bride, because she need to make her hair with the stylist and her makeup. Usually, of course, girls nowadays doing some professional makeup, which takes time to wear everything, to prepare everything. So usually, the morning starts very early, and then day full of events. Usually, we have this. We're receiving this certificate when you need to assign papers that you and say yes, so all this stuff. And after that, after Zax, we call it, usually we go to the restaurant or to the cafe or somewhere. And sometimes at the same day can be the ceremony at the church, but it is a little different. It's not only wedding officially like inside your country, it's like imagine a marriage on heavens. And free pumpkin too, but yes, guys, I'd wish for all of you, if you ever will have this opportunity, it would be should be really fun. But of course, if you have this international marriage, you need some way to communicate with the people because of the language barrier. By the way, once I was at international marriage between our Ukrainian lady and Italian man, and they did weddings 2 times in Italy and then in Ukraine with all the full things by traditions. Tommy, I would need a drink before I participate in the dance of body parts. Yes. to the moment when these games started, everyone already has some shots of vodka, wine, or cognac, or something, whatever who likes. Usually, it's very a big amount of different dishes and drinks. So everyone can find something. So usually a lot of delicious, of course. What? Embroidered wedding dress with patterns like vyshyvanka. Yes, what exactly. So it's like old style wedding dresses. So now they are usually just um, white or can be champagne, ivory, so something very light. Ellen, this is a funny topic because I went to a wedding on Friday. Whoa! Even jealous to you because I like weddings, but I didn't visit such a long time. I had to help I and Mirtli because they were the DJ, so I helped them set up. The wedding was a huge tent, lots of people. It was no distressant. Wow. Ellen always helping to someone. Indian, hello to you. Such a beautiful rose at your avatar. I like your hair too. Good, keep it up. Yeah, sometimes it needs. Tommy, whenever I attend a wedding, the wolves away make me cry. Oh, Juan Antonio, hello to you. Buenas tardes. Hello, lovely Lady Jana. I almost missed you. Almost. Had I missed your live stream, what a sad day it would have been. No, I think you didn't miss any. Bill, hello to you, dear Bill. Dear is Jana, so nice to see you and hear your voice. In the past, woman's family paid a dowry. Thank you so much. Oh, of course, you will have 3 weddings. Guys, hello to all from Bill. So glad to see you all, usual team. Bill, in the past, women had to large trunk that they would put things of value though their lives so safe when they married. Mhm. Tommy, if I don't know the couple, I will crush the wedding. Have fun. Tommy, good plan. Enjoy, man. Okay. But if I know, I will feel ashamed, right? And be polite. No fun. Simon, I thought the man offered the mother a pumpkin for her daughter. No, no, it's all tradition. So if the groom receiving rejection from a bride's family or from a bride, he take a pumpkin from parents. Also by old traditions, guys. I remember even at school we learned this. Like the groom, he had also guys, his dudes who helped to him, and it was even specifical, like not profession, not official profession, but he has such dude who need to over compliment to a groom for a bride's family, and to show all his best qualities, and even like make them much more bigger than in reality, so unrealistically. So he made such kind of superhero from this guy. So always in Ukrainian culture, this wedding, even in some Asian times, it was with some fun. So people try to joke and to have a great mood. So not everything was very serious. Some ceremony, of course, it is very serious, especially at the church part. But in general, it's some kind of fun and trades, and to prove that you are a worthy man, that you are masculine, that you can be the head of the family. So should be like a knife who need to prove that he is like a worthy groom for his future wife, and only then this girl can be given. What, Tommy? How would it go for you, though, in regards to expenses? Must be quite costly, knowing your dedication to make them happy and the wedding expenses in USA. Yeah, poor Tommy. Some motivation, yeah, when you understand the responsibility of being a father of girls. Built Alan. Noticed wedding save money not to even to buy wedding dress. Tuxedo. Yeah, some smart people. Alan, I thought Joe and Anna was wonderful. Loved the beach wedding idea. Loved Anna's dress, which had a slit all the way up to her lower hip. This allows for her to run on the beach. Yeah, yeah, beautiful, beautiful video, guys. Also, yeah, very romantic, very sincere. Of course, should be beautiful and remember forever. Tommy, Jana, girl, if you were at the dance, I would pick that kissy spot on the Tommy. What about Jana? From your personal experience, what would you consider to be the most interesting events that you experienced at your or a friend family member's traditional wedding, if any? Guys, very important, like how fun it should be. It very depends on this MC guy, so Tamada. So if you have good Tamada, of course, good Tamada usually it's some pricey, some costs. So usually this good quality MC creates all the atmosphere. And of course, sometimes when a groom has funny dudes with a sense of humor, even without any MC, you will have great atmosphere. And the same girls in Ukraine also, they have great sense of humor. They are funny and they can support all these games, events, any kind of entertainment, and a lot of things. So usually couple try to find this Tamada MC guy before marriage, and like looking for portfolio, looking for this like scenario of these games, because they can be different. I can't mention just something one. A lot of traditions, they are really adorable. Some of them not funny, but they are very old, and it's nice moments, especially when your parents give you these icons and speaking so sincerely with the wet eyes, teary eyes. It's incredible moment. All these challenges for the groom, they are funny, but bride can't see them. Maybe from some houses, maybe she can see, depend on perspective angle of windows. Maybe partly she can see, but also it's funny moment. Then of course this part when you feel yourself like very special at this wedding dress with this all these beautiful things you have. Of course, this is very special day, especially for a bride. So girls in Ukraine paying a lot of attention to all these details, what kind of bouquet you will have, what flowers you will have there. So manicure, makeup, a lot of things organized in ahead and buying all the new things. So yeah, and all this evening usually nice for some, like I can say, rich families, rich couples. Also at the weddings, they can do fireworks as well. Not maybe that big, like on from government on some big holidays. But anyway, yeah, people also try to make this like part of entertainment. So everything depends on your opportunities, I mean budget, and creativity. So people can do um, really incredible things on their weddings. But like Vita mentioned yesterday at her stream, so more and more couples, they try not to make this show offs to spend incredible sums of budget for 1 day or 2 days. People try to be more rational and or to memorize this event of, for example, 1 week or 2 weeks of vacation at some exotic island, for example, together the next day after wedding. It's very usual. Or to save money for to buy their own property, because guys, separate property is very important to live like new family, and if they don't have their own property like a family yet, so it's very important, and it can be a huge a big goal to a young family, to a newborn family, to buy their own apartment, or can be a house, but usually apartment in Ukraine. And actually, we have second day of wedding. So everyone, all the guests, especially the most active, the most close to couple, they come the next day, and they, without any like games or some entertainment part, they have just a table with a lot of dishes and drinks, and they just talking, spending time together and drinking. Bill, if life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I You get pumpkins, you made pumpkin pie. Yeah, exactly. Would be nice. Ellen, they were they were dressed, but it was really sexy, like a Playboy pajama party. Oh, one lady had short shorts on with the cape of when open raise her arms, but like but what, Jana? First day for partying and getting hammered. Second day for hangars and taking it easy. Yeah, something like that. So definitely second day not that full of events. So people just usually with a smaller company, for example, if first day of wedding can be 20, 30, even 50 guests. So second day is usually a small, very tight company, like 10 people, maybe 15. So not that necessarily that everyone. So some guests they can go from like wedding. It's a big event in every life. So some relatives they, for example, can go for wedding from very far parts of country or from other countries if they live there. So usually they come not for one day and can stay. So the family has guests, family members maybe from some other cities, and the closest and the most like strong people from the first day, but the closest, yes, of course. So it's usually besties of bride and groom. They come the next day and they like continuing celebration if the couple doesn't have another plans. Simon, how much is the cost of the large wedding cake in Ukraine? Simon, I can just say my guess. Have no idea for now. Cakes in Ukraine before the war, when I lived there, it is very popular right now. Any kind of baking, we have like professional bakeries and a lot of ladies who try to like work in part time and do really incredible chefs, I can say, at home. So they have some official page somewhere on the site, and they make their portfolio and make their pictures of their works. And usually it costs for 1 kilo, so depends how heavy this cake should be, like 3 kilos, 5 kilos, how many stairs it should have also can be different, depend on how many guests you have. So everything depends how huge this cake is. Before in Ukraine it was quite expensive, so all these cakes from private bakeries or from some ladies for birthday, we used to like order such things because they are really tasty. Now we have this great tendency in Ukraine that you can buy at the supermarket the cake. It can be very low price, guys, like 200 to $20, something like this. Not $20, guys, I'm sorry. Yeah, it can be a really low price, like $10 maybe even. I don't know now with the war what price is, but people try to appreciate really tasty, healthy, from very high quality natural ingredients and beautiful things. So they decorate it at the most incredible way for children, especially all these cartoons and fairy tales stuff for people, adult people. They can be decorated with some very creative, very funny manner, very beautiful, incredible style. So it can be quite expensive. So I think up to, for you guys it is different price, I understand absolutely. But in Ukraine, if you can buy at supermarket usual regular cake like biscuit or something with some cream, with some fruits, for example, $10-20, so wedding cake can be like $100-200. So yeah, his price. $50. I think more. I think more. No. Even some like not very huge, even more. Mhm. Interesting. Average cost of wedding cake in USA is $500. Guys, you have all the prices different. We can't even compare because you have different incomes and different level of expenses. The same prices in Ukraine. We have very low prices than you have, but our incomes as well lower. The thing is, like how people um, feel themselves in some way. So sometimes the wedding, even for simple families, their income can be $500 per month, and they can have a wedding for several thousand dollars. So they even usually families of groom of and a bride, when they have like this feeling, this age of their children, they understand. So their child can marry soon, start really serious relations for just lady 18, for example, years, and parents can start in savings and do the savings during several years, especially for this specific day. Ukraine supplies about 10% of the world's wheat and corn. Yeah, now it's more difficult, everything with this. Tommy, I have been married before, and also my Xenia girl. We will just go to court and get stamped. It's reasonable, yeah, after one marriage. And the reception party with friends. Tommy, respect absolutely your decision, absolutely reasonable. So, of course, you should like decide between both of you. If she want, maybe groom can listen and try to please his beloved woman. If she okay with this, so yeah, I think it must have for a girl who never been married before to have this impression, this one day experiment. Every lady dream from her childhood to wear this white dress, to be this super star of this day. But for those ladies who already had this, it's not a dream. So the most important for after one try, yeah, when you have second try, the most important, you appreciate the person who is next to you and the level and comfort of your life. So not the day of wedding. And much of the lime and fer- fertilizer elements key. Jacob with hello, Жаночка, and everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, Vita and me, we make this tendency, I think, with these cutie names, but I like, I appreciate that. Mhm. Jacob, cool name for our Jana girl. Tommy, I adore and appreciate this Jana girl. For me, it sounds so cute. So Janочка is something very usual for me. Guys, I think I never tell you here. My mom, she also has the same name as me. She also Jana. And from my childhood, the difference between like when my father had to um, call some of us like Jana and Jana, and we can't come both of them. So I was from childhood Janочка, and my mom was just Jana, like big Jana and small Jana. So it was the our family difference with this cutie name. Tommy, Xenia girl girls whatever she wants in this case. Yeah, yeah, it's very respectful, Tommy. I appreciate this your position so much. I know that you're a very good man, that you mature, wise, and you will try to please and do whatever you want. And it's absolutely, guys. I don't want to see any comment about simp or something. It's this magic. Combination when a man has this, he's still inside, he's masculine, and he can be like very kind to his woman, and this is adorable. And adorable when guys, you can behave yourself in this way to fill the borders between, to please your woman like a slave, and to be this man who can be like who can spoil his woman like a little girl, like a little princess. It's different things. Jana, at a friend family member's wedding, did you vote for a boy or a girl? Why? I don't remember such a details. It was like many years ago. I don't remember even like where I was on the wedding last time. It really was many years ago. So I don't remember. It's just for fun, and the thing is that these votes, it is not absolutely, it is not a prediction, it is just competition between guests. They want to see boy or a girl from this couple, and who can put the bigger amount of money. Usually it's like basket, or usually in Ukraine they use this baby's pants, pink or blue, and you need to put money into these small pens, and so the it is not a prediction at all, so it's just funny competition, and I think money also goes to the couple. I don't remember even such details. Okay, guys, I hope this topic was cute and interesting for you. I hope you had good mood today with me. I also want to finish my live stream here with the same wonderful topic and image for you with the wedding of Joseph and Anna. I wish you all a lovely day, a great mood, good Sunday, and a nice new week, upcoming week. Goodbye, goodbye, guys.
Do you find yourself over 50 and regretting chasing material riches at the expense of family? Do you believe it's never too late, or have you given up? Maybe Joe's story will inspire you and give you hope. After having it all, millionaire lifestyle, all the toys men dream of, Joe still felt unfulfilled. Joe prayed for God to shake it up, to light the path for his purpose. Well, be careful what you pray for, right? Well, bankruptcy and divorce certainly wasn't Joe's plan. In hindsight, it was God's. Joe found himself 50, divorced, bankrupt, and homeless. Little did he know his best years lay ahead. Well, fast forward 5 years, Joe is happily married to his beautiful soulmate Anna, lives the traveling nomad capitalist lifestyle, and his lifelong dream of being a dad has come true. Twice, with 2 darling daughters, and another on the way. Did you know exhaustive research has proven that regret is what we feel most on our deathbed? Well, if you find Joe's story hits a nerve for you now, Joe asks you to trust him just enough to hear his inspiring true life story. Joe promises to light the path for you to find your soulmate and start your family, even if you're over 50.